Hello, everybody. So today I want to talk about the element of water. Okay. I know we already talked about fire, but this time, for some reason, the download I received is that when I'm talking about water, we're also going to incorporate the elemental spirits. So if you don't know what those are, is there are elemental spirits, they're ethereal, that are connected to each element: earth, fire, water, and air, and of course spirit. But the fire we didn't really talk a lot about, the elemental spirits. So I might just do another video just to kind of give you guys a heads up of the elements, because you can incorporate the elements. Actually, they want you to incorporate them when you work with these elements, because they're so connected, and they can help you make things a lot more powerful. They can protect you as well. And if you're going to work with elements, you might as well just incorporate everything that's part of the element itself, right? Be also aware that not everything is going to resonate with you. You might be like, I don't want to try that. So I'm just here to give you the information as a whole. You can pick and choose what you want. Like I said, honestly, it's your path, whatever you feel comfortable with. You might be able, maybe in 4 or 5 months, you want to go back and watch the video again. And he's like, you know what, next time, I want to work with this now, or I want to do it this way. However it may be, we can do it simple now, and you can go ahead and build off of that, okay? Now, the element of water has been known, honestly, in probably a lot of cultures, ancient civilization, as the strongest element. Because water, as you know, it can shape into anything you put it into, right? Now, water itself, yes, it's calm and peace, right? And when we want to be like water, we want to flow, it's so important for us to be balanced in our emotions. Anytime we do any kind of ritual, anytime we work with like magic or anything, we have to have our emotions well balanced. If we're doing a reading, like tarot reading, if our emotions are not balanced, that reading is not going to be accurate. So, which is why it's so important to learn to balance our emotions, detach from our own personal situation when we are actually helping somebody out, detaching from that situation so it doesn't linger, and being completely in the present moment with your client. Okay. Because that way you're able to do the reading, and actually you're able to receive those messages nice and clear, and they'll flow to you versus hesitating. I can't, really see anything. Well, because your emotions are out of whack. Okay? I'm kind of like an emotional roller coaster. So the quote that I found that was pretty good, like still water, okay, be at peace and balance in your emotions. So it's just calm, serenity, and just relaxation. Okay. Now, water itself, why it's so powerful is because, as well, is if you just put like a stone under it and allow it to drip water on that exact spot on that stone, just drip right steady, it's going to pierce a hole through it. Okay. Same thing. It can be very disastrous as well. Water, if you notice, it's in a river, it'll go through anything. It'll go up and around things, right? It'll make its way through. Even if there's a log in the way or a rock, what do you see? Water. It's going around it. It's going over it, right? Or under it. It'll find a way through it, no matter what. And if you notice, a lot of tsunamis and things like that, they can actually be very, disastrous. And not just water itself. So, which is why they say it's very powerful, and it's probably one of the powerful elements for that reason. Okay. So now I'm going to go over just a lot of just parts of the element of water. Okay, including astrology, including different kinds of tools, the magic, the elemental spirits, and each one I'll kind of touch a little bit on it. This is just like an introductory one. The next video that we'll do next week, it'll be more of, I'll teach you just some kind of ritual that you can do with the element of water and how to kind of work with it as well. Okay, because anytime you work with it, we're going to invoke it as well, just like we did with fire, but just to get a little background on water. Okay. Now, the direction for water, because every element has a direction, right? And all the stuff that I've gotten is based on the books I have read, the research that I have done, and what resonates with me and what fits well, okay? So eventually you guys might be able to do, have a map or something and go north, is water. We may have south, west, east, and you'll know. And they're all connected to an archangel. They're all connected to, even, different kinds of animals as well. So it's learning how to utilize them And the more that you actually add them, okay, to your ritual and so forth, the more of an intensity that it's actually going to come through, follow through with it, right? It's going to work for you and connecting with spirit as always. So what it rules over is our emotions. I know that, okay? Intuition, psychic abilities, love, like deep feelings, the unconscious mind, fertility, the tide, the lunar energy, self-healing and reflection. Now keep those in mind, okay? Because some of the tools that are used have to deal with that too, okay? That is like the basis. That is your foundation of water. Is what I just said: emotions, intuition, psychic abilities, love, deep feelings, reflection of ourselves, right? The lunar energy, the moon cycles are connected to our emotions. Okay, water, right? The time is twilight. The time that, they say that if you want to do a lot of the rituals, it's at that time, which is okay if you do it at different times. So don't be so like hyper focused. I've got to do that at midnight. No, it doesn't. Okay. The best season will be fall, and the plane, as in, every element is on a plane. It's astral. So what part of astral projection? It's a lot where you can connect to somebody so much you can actually like go there. You can fly there. You can your spirit can come out of your body, and you can actually go to certain people's homes and you can protect them. And that's what's so good about it, is because when you really truly love somebody and you're trying to really like protect them. Protection is probably the fastest ways that we can actually go into astral projection, is because we can get there fast based on our hearts. We can protect somebody, we can shield somebody and so forth as well. It's our heart, you guys. Like, it's all of our emotions that comes through it, okay? Now, there's power animals of light, power animals of dark. Now, dark emotions, it's not a bad thing. It's like the opposite. Sometimes we get so light and so like we're love and light that we go from extreme to one end, right? And we don't balance ourselves out. And it's best to balance, which is why there's that dark side to us as well. We got to incorporate that. It's got to be a balance, you guys. We can't just automatically just shift to one end or shift here, right? We got to stay balanced. And that's what's so important. So to be able, for example, let's say that you're very in the dark side, right? Shifting this side. You're going to call in the power animal of light, okay? Which is salmon, fish, of course, or the dolphin. You bring them in, it will help you pull you out of that darkness, okay? If you're too much in like the light and you are being like manipulated or you're being taken advantage of, you call your power animal of dark, which is the wolf. That is your animal of dark, okay? And call him in, call her in. Really matter what it is, just call them in and they'll pull you out of that light and they will balance you out, okay? And like I said, I'll let you guys know how to utilize them later on, but just have an idea. There's so many things that are attached to these elements. There's a lot to them, more than we know, okay? Now, symbols. And in tarot, you'll notice that, especially if you read tarot, or if you kind of look at tarot, you're kind of curious about tarot. In the cups, because for tarot, the actual suit is cups, okay? Cups, chalice is what you'll see. It represents in tarot. In those cards, you'll notice in the background, there's always some kind of water, whether it's rivers, lakes, oceans, rain. There is, let's see what else, springs. So you'll always notice that in every single tarot card when it comes to suit of cups. Now, every deck's a little bit differently. Some of them are a little bit more modern, but you'll get the gist of it because you'll have one cup with something around it, right? The color blue is also one thing. Blue, aqua, turquoise are the colors. And you'll notice also with that, it'll connect to the tarot as well, okay? Zodiac signs. We have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Those three zodiac signs, especially if they're in their moon, because this is just a sun sign. If they have a moon that's either a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, they're automatically extremely intuitive and very, very sensitive. Now, not all these signs are going to show how sensitive they are. A lot of times they'll show it by boundaries, but being firm. Okay, so like if you hurt them, they're going to react. So they might be known as someone that might be very fiery instead because they're so quick to react. Well, because you hurt them that many times. But truly, they're really sensitive. If it's their sun sign, they're just intuitive. You'll notice people will come in, like they will attract a lot of people that have maybe like mental health issues. You do need because they're so like supportive and so loving, which is why some of these people get taken advantage. Water signs get taken advantage of. So a water element, can get wishy-washy. Really good to always maintain balance. And with rituals, you'll realize how powerful water can be. But as us, our emotions can be crazy out of whack, right? Now, tools. The tools that are considered, like examples of water. So if you have an altar, we always have to have like something that represents water. Seashells, of course. A chalice, a cup, your cauldron. Those are all represent tools that represent the element of water. Okay. So when you're doing any kind of ritual, it will probably tell you, grab a chalice, grab a cup, have a seashell, have a cauldron. And if you don't have like the specific tool that it has, use a substitute. It's okay, right? Like you're the magician, you're the alchemist, it's you. Virtues. Okay, so we all have virtues and vices. Every element does. Okay, the virtue is more like the compassion, the love, the receptivity, flexibility, and forgiveness. We're good-hearted people. Now, the virtue of it, which is more of the darker side, is the indifference, more of the depression, the instability, the moodiness. That's when you know that you're I would say you're out of whack. Like we need to get you in line or something that's really pulling you out of being balanced. It's like you're allowing someone to control your emotions. That's how I always tell my clients. You're allowing someone to control your emotions. You're allowing someone to become your own puppet master. And those are always good signs of before you start any kind of ritual. After, so, okay, do I feel balanced? Or am I having something lingering from yesterday or from an hour ago and you're not doing well? And if you're not doing well, your ritual is not going to be like 100%. It might be 50, it might be 60. Okay. Crystals. The crystals are attached to the water element are amethyst, aquamarine, opal, sodalite. Sodalite looks like this. I'll try to see which I had here at home, but sodalite looks a lot like this. You can see this here, the blues. That's sodalite in a type of a bead. And then I have sodalite that's tumble stone as well. They're labeled funny. Okay. Maybe. Anyway, it's blue, you guys. So you know, might not look too blue here. And then there's another one here. They're both sort of like, but it's blue. That's really good for your throat chakra. It allows you to speak your emotions clearly and not hold them in. Okay. Metals that are attached to this element is mercury and silver. So if you want to have maybe like create a bracelet or a bead, bracelet is going to help you with your emotions as well, so you're able to speak them clearly. Then you would have either silver with it as well. It's a combination. So these metals are really important when you're trying to create something like an amulet, of a bracelet, earrings, or something that's going to help. So you can go ahead and just put in that energy into whatever you're making, and whoever buys it from you, even for yourself, that's going to help with those things about balancing your emotions. Okay. Plants. The plants are connected to water elements, and there's a lot, which is why I'm like, I have to write them down. It's aloe, apple, camel milk, and ferns. Lily, lotus, lemon, jasmine, a rose. There's a lot. And those are a lot. Like when we do body, that sometimes when we do a lot of like a foot bath, or we do any kind of healing bath, those are really good plants and herbs just to kind of have in there. It'll help you. It'll just release some of that emotions you haven't been able to release because your body gets so tensed up. And usually our emotions, the water, like that will affect our stomach too. And so it's a good way of incorporating them. And we'll talk a little bit more about it and how to incorporate them into your bath and so forth, because it's water, right? It's going to be really good for you. Yeah. The elemental spirits, I'm going to talk a little bit just to name them. Water is connected to the nymphs, the undines, the merfolks, which is like the mermaid, and the fairies that work with plants or water plants, okay? Different kinds of fairies as well. And so I'll let you know, but there's a good way to incorporate them and there's a bad way to incorporate them. And there's some of these elemental spirits are not meant to be worked with certain things, okay? And I'll go over some of them as well, so you know not to call them in. And especially if you're like an earth sign, you're just an earth sign naturally and you love being outdoors and you work around like we'll say with animals, or you have them all around you already. You probably don't even know it, or maybe you do, but you don't know what it is because you can't really see them with the actual eye. It's with their third eye that you can see them and you can feel their energy. You really can. And they'll show up. They will allow you to see them sometimes through light, through orbs or things like that. But if you're one, I've noticed a lot of earth people, a lot of earth signs, they have element spirits always around them, okay? If you live by an ocean, if you live by a lake, always around you as well. So just keep that in mind. Once you go over it, you might start seeing those around you as well. Okay. Now, the archangel that's connected to this water element is Archangel Gabriel. If you want to work, any kind of like water, ritual, whatever, call Archangel Gabriel to help you, and he will. So it gives you more opportunity, you guys, to be able to get to know the different spiritual beings out there that can help you manifest or complete, this ritual for you. And you will end up learning, okay, who do I need today? Do I need to call like everybody, like all hands on deck, you guys, this is something serious, call everybody? Or are you just specifically working with something and you're gonna think, okay, I think Archangel Gabriel is a good one for this, or maybe I think the nymph might be good for this one, or maybe, my power animal of light. So you're gonna start like picking and choosing which one it is, and you can have them all, you can have a few, it's up to you. It's just knowing what feels right, okay, for you. Now, like I said, the type of ritual work that I would say you could use this for: divination. If you want to change a behavior, change, if you've been like, maybe you've been like manipulated a lot, or you want to change the way that you receive love. You want to be open to receive love. That's a good one too. Love, medicine. Medicine is really good because whenever we make like a potion, that's what to use for, I guess, an elixir, you have water as, like your base. And then you add any kind of like oil to it or whatever else it asks you to add, an herb, and you shake it up. And so that's what it is. So it's medicine. You create those medicines. You create those teas as well. It's got water with it as well. Your emotion. You can work with for your emotions, your intuition, communication with spirit, reprogramming the subconscious mind, being able to have pleasure like marriage, sleep and dreams, and develop actually intuition too. So you can do a lot of things that you can work with. And I think a lot of what happens from getting this download is that people usually do that while they're sleeping. They'll create some kind of elixir, they'll create some kind of, like have a mason jar, and they'll create a concoction of sort and they'll put it under the bed. So it's able to either like remove any, behaviors while you're sleeping. It's able to have you open yourself to receive love while you're sleeping. And that's just one of those things that can help. Or if you're trying to remember something or maybe get some insight or some clarity on a situation, you can create some kind of like a potion or something, put it under your bed. And while you're dreaming, that's what you're asking. Let me see this. Let me remember it as well, so you know how to deal with the situation. So there's things that you can do with that, too, that might be able to help you, which makes sense. It happens at night, and so sometimes it's like your mind's not fighting it, put it that way. So I'm feeling that a lot of times if we do it during the day, your mind might be trying to self-sabotage what you're doing. At night, you're relaxed and you're asleep for the most part, right? So that would make a lot more sense going that route. So that obviously you can do that too. So that's just the basics foundation of the water element. There's so many different parts. Like, so I'll go over more of those in detail next week. I want to be able to at least give you guys a few ways of starting any kind of like ritual, any kind of spell for you or for somebody else. Remember, never, ever, ever take anybody's free will from anybody. That's the number one. That's just the universal law. We work with magic. We work with the elementals. We work with elements. Okay. Whatever you want, you do it to yourself. Okay. You do it to yourself. Whatever you're trying to, reprogram within you, it's on you. You don't ever try to take something real from them. It doesn't work that way. Karma will come back at you tenfold. Any kind of questions you guys regarding this video, please message me. Other than that, you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys, or maybe record a video for you guys next week. Bye.